That's cool.
Camera turned on.
No, it just turned off.
No, I just turned the camera on.
Oh, why does it show paint life like that?
I don't know. I'm testing things out.
That's cool.
Why is that cool?
Can they hear
camera's
us?
off.
It says off.
Turn camera on. So we'll turn camera on. So now the camera's on.
And Chuck has his volume off. It shows that Chuck
I think that's
Platinum
like if you're
here.
doing. I think they can get on and you would see like if they had their if they showed their face because they could see us, but if they clicked on their volume and they clicked on their camera, they could talk back. I think. Yeah. I think that's how you do Hangouts.
That would be cool.
But we are live.
Where is that like a chat thing?
So the chat, there you go. Right there.
Okay. I can't read that.
So you want it over here to the left?
No, all the way over. Yeah, perfect.
There we go. It's sponsors reporting for duty. We got Lance's wall art, Ron Thrall.
Anticipation's
Mike.
Well, I just sent out your sticker, Ron. So it was good to get to know you a little bit more of what you did in your previous life. But obviously, we'd love to get to know all of you guys and hear about you.
So we'll throw that over there. So that's interesting because it is a hangout.
Hi, John.
So it's a hangout. So I wonder if they'd like, because you might be able to see their faces if they turn their cameras on.
Yeah, turn your cameras on.
Then we'd actually be able to see them.
Yeah, because we wanted to go outside because we want to do something different because, you know, you guys are our Paint Life family. And so, but we don't know how to do all this stuff. And this is a beta program.
Well, we know how to do it. We found out you can't do that. So because it's a sponsors only live show, you can't take your phone.
Finish painting Regina. What is your full name? Like I see that name all the time. Yeah, I want to know your name.
So it looks like
Hi, George.
So Journeyman John is not here.
This says Paint Life TV, so somebody's here.
But he is on chat. So it says
he's here. That's three of us.
Yeah. So only our sponsors
Omar.
can chat. So kind of cool. So
we just got a text from our daughter. She met her friend on when she went to a medical mission last year. She met a friend, and so she's just telling me that we should let her stay at our house.
Oh, okay. So Jenny Tootin's on. Logan Kirby's on. So
hi, George.
The German cards are great.
Regina.
A6 got the German cards.
Very cool. There was one other person that was supposed to get them, and they never sent me their address.
They never sent your address?
Yeah. So sometimes people don't send me their address, and they don't get stuff.
So we still have some German cards. We can give them away.
If anybody on our sponsor group,
you want some German cards?
Russ.
It's a
nice to meet you.
We got
Russ.
all kinds of like buzzers and
are
things.
I'm gonna turn my phone off.
Silence.
That's the daughter.
Silence that gizmo.
Oh my goodness.
Turn that gizmo off. Oh my gosh, Brooke.
Oh, that's our oldest daughter. She wants us to rent a room out to her friend, which is sweet. So who knows? I don't think we'll ever. I think if I take another person in my house, then a dog has to go because 4 dogs is too many. I'm just saying. I don't know if you guys are dog people. We are dog people, but having 4 is too much. That is not good to text and at the live show. So Logan's here. So where are you from, Logan? Hi, Jenny. How is it having the pants? So this is the community we want the traveling trousers to be in. So let us know how it went. And I still haven't seen a picture. Have you?
I haven't seen any pictures yet.
Or a little video sent to us, Jenny. So we need to see you with those pants.
Ken's paintings from Chicago.
Kenny. And Kenny has 2 kiddos.
Do you want to go to Chicago?
I would go anywhere.
You would.
I'll even go stay at a hotel in downtown Boise.
You will, huh?
I will, and I have.
I'll pay for you to stay at a hotel tonight.
Oh, that wasn't very nice. South side here too. So George is from Chicago?
Our Bindo's from Chicago.
Yeah. Maybe our daughter will get married someday. I don't know. If she does. Maybe we'll go to Chicago.
Like see Chuck and Platinum are on in there. It shows their microphone is off. I wonder if they turned their microphone on. If they had a microphone, if we would hear them.
I don't know.
Maybe. Don't know.
Oh, Logan, I wish you would have known you were in Houston because we spent the day in Houston and we had a really good time. Remember?
Where?
Houston.
Houston?
We went to Houston last month.
We didn't.
Yes, we did in Texas.
We went to Galveston.
And then we went to Houston.
Did we?
And we flew out of Houston. Remember we went out to eat And we went to like a park.
Oh, we went to the river, the muddy river,
Oh my
where the people were
goodness.
fishing.
Hi, Haley and Jaden.
So, if this is the opportunity for us to spend some time, and because we only have our live sponsors on, and they can only ask
Yes.
questions.
Yes.
And so if you guys got any questions you want
we're here for
us
you
to
guys.
answer, and typically the live show will typically include Journeyman John, but he has to stay home because his wife is sick. So
Jacob, waiting to be allowed to put my name in front of A6. It's Jacob. Okay, good. It's good to have
Jacob.
names. And I think Russ is Pro Finish Painting Regina. Is Regina your wife? Who's Regina?
So Ron
Is that your last
Thrall
name?
attended a trade show at my local Benjamin Moore store introducing San Marco products. Wild one coat faux finished trowel brush application. Beautiful stuff.
Oh,
So-
Ron. We're going to be,
So we just had kind of cool. A guy flew in from Chicago.
yeah.
One of the big dudes from Metropolis and
Yeah.
Metropolis. So
Yeah.
they provide they're a product
Specialty
decorative finishes. I used to call them faux finishes, but now
decorative finishes.
faux finishes is the bad term. People they're called decorative finishes now, and they make some super cool products. They flew in, came to our house, and we even put it on some walls, applied it on some walls, and they're a product out of Italy. And so we're kind of excited. We might be able to deal with them. So it's
Yeah.
kinda cool.
So Regina is the capital of Saskatchewan. I'm sorry. I'm so bad. Thank you. We're learning about geography. That's a good thing. So anyways, let us know, Ron, if you use that product. Show us some pictures of it, because that's the stuff that they brought to our house, and we're actually looking into
San Marco products. That's not the same.
no, it's not, but he said a one coat faux finish, and that's what this stuff is also.
Oh yeah, and he
and-
says trowel and brush, and
Yeah.
this was a trowel and brush too.
Yeah. So I want to see pictures of what it is. And I'd love to hear, if you work with it, how it goes, because we're new to the decorative painting industry, but we might.
I'm not new.
Okay. You're not new. I'm new. Well, I'm not even. Okay.
I used to teach the old Ralph Lauren stuff. Remember?
Oh. So didn't wear the pants, but the pictures are in my son's phone. Yeah. Kids have the technology. I'll post as soon as he sends them to me. XC Painter should be getting the painter any day. Okay, we need to make sure. Regina.
Regina, Ray. Oh, it's a hard I. Regina. I don't know. So,
Okay, that's something that
Lisa
we
and Chris,
both,
please make sure when you come to Chicago, let me know.
I
can
what?
show you the best dogs, pizza, and beef.
Oh, you loved hot dogs in New York.
So is he saying that they put dogs on pizza?
No,
And
we're dog friendly, not that kind of dog friendly. So, I mean, I think for us, our goal in the Paint Life community, obviously, we want to be a part of this community that's passionate about painting, and that's you guys. And so our goal is to meet you guys, and we want to hear your stories, and we want to see where you live, where you work. And that's part of our big picture of what we want to do. So this is just like a little start to that. So we're so thankful that you guys decided to.
I'm going to give you a live
Spend
show
$4.99.
lesson here.
Okay.
When I watched the last live show, you were always looking up
Uh-huh.
here, and so the people are right there. Remember,
I know, but
told
I'm
you?
reading.
So
I'm reading.
You got to talk to the little I. I raised it up on a box this time because you said it was too low.
Regina.
Did you notice that?
Regina.
Regina.
Yes, Regina. See? Regina.
Regina.
Oh my gosh, it's the
Regina.
city that
Regina.
rhymes
Regina.
with fun.
Regina. Regina.
I don't know. It sounds so weird.
Interesting. Let's see. That's the local joke.
Daniel's
Chicago
here.
style hot dogs. They should nail us some.
Yeah, no. They won't
the one
be
thing,
near as
so
good.
we've been to New York, went to YouTube New York twice, and we can see them.
I see a
Some
car.
kind of car. So
3 sponsors only live show. So I don't know if you guys know this.
no, that's a question mark.
Oh.
So this is this whole sponsors only thing is new, so it's beta, and I'm working with YouTube, sending them suggestions into how to work this out and make it better.
Do they tell
And
me what
so-
to do? They give me suggestions.
So and it's kind of cool. So far, most of the stuff is working, and it's kind of exciting. So, but
Platinum lives in San Antonio.
Yeah, Lance's Wall Art, $300 CAD, 300 foot to roughly think accent wall.
Don't know what that means. But I'm glad you're talking to Lance's Wall Art.
So. They're talking together.
Oh yeah. How does that go? That's what we want it to be. We want it to be where you guys we can support each other and help each other.
I was talking about the hot dogs in New York. And so it's interesting because hot dogs as we know it are kind of gross. And then, but I always heard about
Boise,
New York hot dogs are like awesome, and the pretzels.
And Chicago dogs are the same.
And so I went there, and we went to New York, and that was the one thing I wanted to do was get a hot dog off a hot dog stand, and it was absolutely.
Okay, I'm remembering this story. I told him he needed to try a hot dog, and he's like, "I don't eat hot dogs; they're gross." And then I was like, "You need to try a hot dog," and then you're like, "I'll try a hot dog," and then you tried it, and you're like, "I love hot dogs."
Their hot dogs are really good. So now, yeah, we need to go to Chicago to eat some hot dogs.
So Third Coast is close to Houston, and so is Platinum. So I think that's like a great thing. You're in San Antonio. That's a great thing of networking. I mean, we were so thankful that we got to meet Daniel with Third Coast Woodworking. And so anyways, we hope to meet all of you guys very much soon.
On the Sponsors Only live show, make sure if you guys have any questions, we will try to answer them in detail because we won't have this big, gigantic crowd of people that we have to deal with a live feed that just got
because I stare at the feed and I miss half of them still.
I don't know if anybody's seen these new guns. Got some new guns. Tight.
Oh, you got a new shirt too.
New
shirt.
And
hopefully you guys, the people that have mailed me their address, if you mailed me your address, I sent you a discount card that you can buy stuff on our store. And these just got put in the store yesterday.
Just got put in the store.
And Kate Weiss, but I didn't know I was doing this tonight. And so I didn't put my shirt on.
Journeyman John got them on the store. So they're on the store. So here's Titan, the Apex gun just came out.
So nobody's used them before?
Yeah, I don't think you, well,
have you guys used them?
I don't think you can buy them.
I mean, you might
be able to.
This is kind of heavy.
Because they just came out. So.
I'd have to. Oh, this is lighter. This
Really?
is heavy. This is light.
They're the same gun.
No. One is no.
They're the same.
No. This is heavier. One just
has a filter.
That's exactly right. One's filtered and one's unfiltered. The filter is heavy.
Really?
Yeah. Here, pick it up.
No difference.
No, there is a big difference. This thing is really heavy right here.
So check it out. These guns.
They're new.
Here's the interesting thing about these guns, and they're
called Apex. The Apex Home Improvement.
Right.
It's a Titan Apex gun. Isn't that the name of it?
It is. Titan Apex
Titan
gun.
should send you one because you got the name. Fill in the love.
Made for high production painting.
We are gonna give away one of each of these. So this next week we will be putting. Are we putting it on our?
They're going to be on our website.
On our website. So you guys need to. I don't think we can. Can we give them like an extra entry because they're sponsors? Can we do that?
We'll work something out because they're sponsors. We'll do something. We'll figure it out.
So we're going to give away 2 of these, and so one is filtered and one is not filtered. What's the difference?
It's got one filters and one doesn't filter.
Why do you want it to filter and why don't you want it to filter?
Well, you don't want to filter on really, really thick products. Like block fillers and elastomeric coatings because they can't go through the filter. And then, but if you're spraying finer finishes, these aren't really for fine finish spraying and stuff. They're more for production, and I'll explain to you why. But there's some products that you can get some junk through the rock guard, through the manifold filter, and it eventually come to your gun. And if you're using a smaller tip, it's going to cause a lot of spits. You're going to have to keep reversing your tip, getting spits and stuff. And so you might need a filter in some cases, depending on the product you're using, what you're spraying. And so there's an option with the filter. I'm not sure. I mean, these are high production guns. I don't know. I don't think I'd want a filter on something like that because here's the thing. I'm going to explain to you right now what one of the big keys about this gun. It's the trigger is harder to pull initially, but once you pull it and it's in its position, this backward position, it's easier to actually hold it in that position. So the amount of pounds it takes, the force to keep it closed like this is a lot less than a normal gun.
But you don't want to keep going like that, right?
Right. So they're designed for guys that are spraying, that are holding the trigger and not releasing the trigger. So that's what this trigger is designed for. So the initial pull is harder. So if you are pulling a trigger a lot during the day, doing a lot of trigger pulling and stuff, you're probably it's gonna wear your fingers out faster. But then here's another thing, the safety is a little bit different. I like that safety a lot better than the RX Pro gun safety that they got. That's a better safety. But here's one of the really cool things, and this would be cool if they incorporated on their RX Pro gun. It's got these dials, and is it
adjustable?
It's adjustable. So these dials adjust the handle right here, so you can dial this handle out. So you can, I don't know if you can see that, but the handle's starting to move outward. So if you got bigger hands, now you can start to see the gap in between there. So I mean, that starts to feel too big for me. I got such little hands that I actually have the dial. I got it all the way in. So now the grip is going to be tight to the gun. And here's another thing is this.
How are you doing, John?
This grip right here is, you can change that. And they got smaller grips too. So it's customizable.
So it comes with a whole bunch of little pieces to customize it to your hand.
It didn't come with this piece, like the RX Pro gun doesn't come with that. You have to buy the smaller sizes, and so it didn't come in the package of the gun.
I am gonna ask Titan if they'd be so kind to let us have a one more to give away and to do it on our next
live sponsor
show. So I'm gonna ask on your guys' behalf if they'd be so generous to give us one to share.
Titan is
to the sponsors. They've been very generous to us.
So they are really cool to work with. So
look at Chuck just said that would be cool. So yeah. Chuck's over there and you guys are over there. I don't know how this all works.
Have you seen any questions yet? Third Coast Painting.
How hard was it in your family in the beginning of your business? I'm putting in a lot of hours. So Lance, last night, Chris, was it yesterday? I think it was just yesterday, or was it the day before? It's a lot of work. That's the reality. The other night I had him like meeting with a couple different customers. We stopped for dinner, talked about business at dinner. Then I had him drive by and look about 3 or 4 houses to bid and to meet with customers. And I told Chris, I said, this is how it was for us for years. DNA's painting, yay! That's exciting. Thanks for joining us. I didn't know you could join too. But anyways, it is a lot of work. I mean, we literally probably 3 evenings, 4 evenings a week, I would have like a list, and I had, scheduled bids based on location, and I would just pick Chris up and I'd drive him from place to place to place to place to place. And then we'd eat along the way, and then we'd go home and write the bids. And so having your own business it's a lot of work, but for us, it's been worth it.
Yeah, I think so. Here's the difference between owning your own business and being an employee. And I think in this, owning your own business, you're going to work a lot more hours. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
You're going to work probably double the amount of hours, but you have the freedom to come and go when you want. So if I needed to go to like my daughter's play or soccer thing, I can go. I didn't have to ask for the time off. And then the other thing about owning your own business too, you're going to do a lot more work, but it is pretty rewarding to have a business and have the business become successful and do well and provide for your family. But now, and it was interesting because B&K Painting in the very beginning, it was a lot of work
because we didn't have any money to pay people.
It was endless hours working. I would do exteriors in the day, and then I would work doing interiors at night.
And doing bids and making everything you do.
And in between doing the bids. And so I worked, and then I worked 7 days a week a lot. I worked 6 days a week for years and years and years.
So Apex said it's hard for me knowing when to quit. When we were we went to the PDCA, the trade show in Galveston in February, and our middle daughter, who's graduating in May from college, she went with us. McKenna, you guys probably know her. And she was talking to somebody and, saying, didn't your dad spend a lot of time working and stuff like that? And she said he never missed anything. And so that's what, we valued them over work. We had to work, but we, like Chris said, we made our own schedule. So if it was going to her activity or driving to go, watch her play soccer, we did that. And then we'd come home and we'd work late. And so, that's, make sure you don't forget spending time with your kids, because let me tell you, my baby's in college and they grow up way too fast. I'm going to start crying. It was hard. We saw her last weekend.
Don't start crying again.
I know. But I mean, they grow up, life is so fragile and precious. And I know we have people that have lost loved ones that are sponsors. And I just think, it does require a lot of work, but it's got to be a balancing act too, because you got to remember who you're working for.
So see, somebody here asked, would you recommend this Titan Apex gun over the Graco contractor gun? So the Graco contractor gun right now, it's my favorite gun. I've used it for years and years. Absolutely love it. Tested, a bunch of guns. This gun is brand new. So tomorrow is the first day I'm going to use it. So I can't wait to use it. I think this gun, instead of being more of an all-around gun, this is, like I said, this is more of a high production gun, but you could still use it all around. And I think the trigger pull, if doing like an exterior, as much as you got to pull the trigger, we'll see tomorrow, how tough that is on my 2 fingers. So one thing, I got to say, Titan makes the raddest looking guns on the entire market. I mean, nobody comes close to these super stealth, sick looking guns. Now, I'm going to put it to the test tomorrow. It'll be one day, and then we'll see what happens. And I'll start to be able to give you some answers, what I think about it.
So Kenny was saying him and his crew worked all Easter weekend to help customers move in. And Lance Waller says,
look at that little
how do I then move move the feet over? Move the feet over. He said, I work at UPS overnight as a part-time supervisor. I'm burning the candle. I think it is a balancing act. And I think it's like anything that's valuable, it takes work. It's not easy. And so I think, you transitioning at some point, you have to make a decision, like, I'm going to stop working at UPS and I'm going to go for the painting thing. And it's a risk. But I remember when we would get a job, I'd call Chris every time it's like, we got a bid, we got a job. I mean, and we celebrated all of those. And even now, I mean, we're 16 and a half years into it. I mean, if people stop calling us, we wouldn't be paying our bills. And so I really appreciate all our customers and each person that still calls us. So, I mean, I think there's a risk reward. The third coach, Daniel said his wife is starting to work. Any advice?
His wife is starting to work?
To work with him. Any advice for working family? I'll let you answer that.
Working painting with them? Oh boy, that could be that could be an experience. There was a question I was trying to grab on there, but if your wife starts to work with you, oh boy, just be patient. Be patient, and it's interesting because the relationship, it's weird because you end up, you treat your wife different than you treat your employees, but then when your wife is going to be an employee on the job, and you want to teach her just like you teach your employees and spend time and talk to her like you talk to your employees and stuff, and have that type of teaching relationship and be patient and stuff. All the stuff I probably don't do.
I mean, I think the thing is if she married you, she loves you and she wants you to succeed, and she's willing to paint for you. I mean, and she may love painting, but I think that just shows that you guys are a partnership. And I think it's a cool thing. I mean, I think, Chris and I are opposites, and I think we complement each other, but we have the same goal and the same desires. And so I think obviously we butt heads at times.
We do?
But we do.
Really?
Don't be shocked. But I think, to me, I mean, I think that's pretty cool, Daniel, that your wife is working with you. When we went to the UK, we met Ian and
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Ian.
And then we met Pete and Tracy. And it was really cool because there are 2 couples that are working together, husband and wife, and running a business together. And I mean, it was kind of nice. It was like these 2 other couples know what they're still married. They know what we're going through. I mean, because
we're still married.
we are. It'll be 29 years.
So,
Fine.
Platinum asked,
Jenny's kids are close to ours.
do we do wallpaper? And so, guess what? What was I doing today?
I saw a video of Zach.
Zach was doing it. I did some. I actually did some. So I shot a video today removing wallpaper, did a wallpaper border. So we do wallpaper removal, but we don't install wallpaper. And it's interesting. So
love to learn.
Not really.
No, I think it'd be cool to learn.
Not me, but
okay.
So
to help you guys.
No, I guess it probably would be. It probably something that would be something new, something different. So here's something, for all you guys, the sponsors out there. If you have a painting company, removing wallpaper is easy money, and I wouldn't say it's not like, I mean, and when I'm saying easy money is we charge $50 an hour to remove wallpaper, and it's just a flat rate, $50 an hour. And so I go in.
They do a lot of wallpaper removal. And so
I go in and I'll give an estimate. I'll say it's going to take me, 5 hours to remove this wallpaper, we're $50 an hour, and that's per person. So if I have two guys in there, it's $100 an hour. So if it's one person, it's $50 an hour. And I'll give them an estimate. And I always tell the people, if it takes and this is the way you got a hot flash coming again. She gets hot flashes.
That's a little too much information.
Really? Well, they're probably wondering why
I'm turning bright red.
When she starts sweating, she gets hot flashes. So so it's $50 an hour, and I'll tell them it's gonna.
I'm sorry.
And I'm honest with them. I said there's a lot of unknowns about wallpaper removal, and I can't give you a flat estimate. So I'll say, and I always try to build the customer's confidence. I'm usually almost dead on, and maybe just like an hour off or so. But I always tell them if it takes me less, then I charge you less. If it takes me more, I charge you more. So, but I'm usually pretty darn close. And the only thing that we use for wallpaper removal, we use you can see, watch our live video, or not live video. I put a video on Instagram today. I was doing it today, and we use a Warner wallpaper steamer. It's $900, and that's the best wallpaper steamer you can buy. And then a putty knife, a couple X-Acto knives, and we don't use any chemicals, no paper tigers, none of that. And you just start removing it. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill and to do. You can teach anybody to do it in 10 minutes, and you just throw them in there and they just start making you money. And so I started posting it and advertising it that we do wallpaper removal, and we were doing quite a bit of it for a while. And you did a lot of wallpaper removal.
I did. And to me, like, people do all this crazy workout. Like, what does McKenna do?
CrossFit.
And you're doing this crazy exercise. So like when I did wallpaper removal,
you don't even, to break a sweat, you don't even have to exercise.
I'm sorry. That's so horrible. Okay. I know it's a small group and we call you family. He's really taking it to the next level, but you just missed I was going to read. Okay. So I just learned something about Ron Thrall. He has 8 kids, 1 grandkid, Whoa. 7 still at home.
Ron's got 8 kids.
Ron's busy. He's a busy blessed. Dude. He's blessed. So okay.
So Chicago is George. Chicago is very competitive. So-called painters are working for minimum wage, basically. Any good marketing suggestions to get customer attention. And so yeah, I mean, the market, social media marketing, you can't underestimate the power of social media marketing, and that it's free. So you can. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm
just here.
Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We're having quite a time with my hot flashes.
You're working out again.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say, George, for our company, Chris did a lot of internet marketing that has brought a lot of traction to us. But, we get a lot of Angie's List and all these different paid ones trying to get us to pay. But the biggest thing is like in our area, we have Next Door Neighbor, and that's where people that you do work for in neighborhoods, it's not a paid thing.
It's an app.
It's an app, and people look at that. And so I think the biggest thing is if you do work for somebody, you know, ask them, you know, if you have like a next door neighbor, if you have a Yelp, to give you a review, because that's how we're getting calls. I ask, how did you hear about us? And a lot of people are telling me on Yelp and next door neighbor.
So you got to, this is key. This is very, very important. So first off, you know, every customer that you do work for, capture their email address so you can continue to remind them who did their paint job and do good work, good customer service, or you don't want to remind them. So you want to throw away their email, but do good work, give good customer service and remind them. But when you send your invoice, our invoice packet we send, and once again, like our bid packet is 20 pages long, our invoice, you corrected me, you said it's no longer 20 pages because I eliminated
It's 16.
It's 16 because I eliminated some pages. I eliminated some paint products on there that were garbage, and from one of the companies that we use, or yeah, they're just garbage. And so I had to get rid of the garbage products on there. But so anyways, so getting back to what I was saying, and what was I saying?
I don't
so
know,
no,
a lot of questions.
no, okay, I got, I know what I was saying now.
Okay.
But I don't again, but now I do. So our invoice package we send to them is not just just one invoice to say, here's your bill. It's a packet, and one of the things that is in it is a self-addressed Angie's List form, a questionnaire. Angie's List provides this, and you don't even have to put a stamp on it. And the customer will fill it out, and it folds up, and they stick it right in the mail. And that's a simple and easy way. You put that as part of your invoice package, so it encourages people to review you on Angie's List. And then in our closing letter, I asked them specifically to please, if you like our service, like our customer service, please give us a review on Google+. I asked them to give us a review on Facebook, Angie's List, and Yelp. And it's amazing because Yelp was really created for like the food industry, reviewing restaurants. But now it's, I mean, people use it to review everything.
Yeah, I get calls from that every day.
Yeah, and so encourage people. You wanna encourage them, because all these social media avenues, like you're going to get a certain amount of business from Yelp, you're going to get a certain amount of business from Angie's List, certain amount of business from Next Door Neighbor. Your website is critical. Your website is critical with SEO, the proper SEO to put it on the first page. If you're not on the front page when somebody does a search, like when somebody does a search for painters in Boise or Boise painters, we're on the first page. If you're not on the first page, your website is completely useless. So not completely useless.
We don't want to take so much time, but what is that one thing that you use that to get, I want to read some of those, that you can get cheap websites built if you don't have one? Fiverr.
Go check out Fiverr.
Fiverr,
Fiverr, I believe, Fiverr.com. If you go look at my website, The Idaho Cyclist is a website that I have because I'm a cyclist and I ride bikes.
Mm-hmm.
That website, it was created, a guy on Fiverr created for $150. So it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's not great.
There are good things. I mean, and door hangers, there's so many different things, but it does take hustle and it does take work to separate yourself. But the most important thing is doing good quality work and good customer service. But Platinum gave us $1 and he wants to know, Chris, do you get help to edit or control your social media and YouTube content?
I do it all myself. So I've looked into companies, contracting it out, and the major shocker was how much they want to manage my social media. It's crazy. But then here's the one thing. How do you, like, you're going to see content I'm constantly putting on social media, tips and tricks. If you're not a painter, how do you put that content out there? And so you have to understand, what's relevant, what's not, and to put it out there. So I manage, well, it's not just me now, but it's me, Lisa, John, and then McKenna. The four of us manage all of our social media. And I got to say, it's a whole lot of work because we get 1,000 comments a day across our social media platform.
I'm loving this. There's so many husband and wives that work together, which to me, I just think is really cool. Cause I mean, that's what the relationship is. You kind of help and support, and, to be able to work together and complement each other is pretty cool. But Platinum, the painting contract, said he needed a camera. Can you tell him something about this?
So this is interesting.
Look at this.
Ron Thrall says he enjoys installing wallpaper, and that's There, and
Ron, we want you to make us a video.
I know there's really good money in doing
yeah,
wallpaper. So maybe we should start
I do want to do a video segment on installing wallpaper, and we just met.
Maybe Journeyman John could start up a wallpaper crew for us and do that.
We could come learn from Ron.
So this I found this out in the garage the other day in a drawer, and this is the original camera when I started making YouTube videos.
How many years did you use that for?
7. I just
4 years.
About 2 years ago, I went to a DSLR camera because I went to YouTube. They invited me down there to San Bruno, and this is what I took with me, and I couldn't believe
so the first 4 years.
Yeah, first 4 years.
Of making videos.
All the videos I made was with this camera,
mm-hmm.
and I would have it in my back pocket. And I would just pull it out and start shooting video with it. And I'd have, eventually, once I got the courage, I'd have one of my guys, shoot it for me because I was too shy and embarrassed to have them do it. And then I would never even video around you.
Did you say?
I was
did
too
you
shy
tell
and embarrassed to video around you?
Bought those for like $50 on how many you had?
This is mine. Don't be. This is.
No, I know, but you had a whole bunch of them.
Well, they're $75.
Okay.
In the editing software that I use, very primitive. It was just. I came with the cameras on the camera, so when you plugged it in,
so watch his old Goldie's videos.
Yes, and then eventually, because I needed multiples of them, and they would break. Like this one's taped together because it broke. I bought like 3 or 4 of them on eBay to take parts off to make it work.
We started making YouTube videos 7 years ago in March. So we just he did. Not I said we, but he started making them 7 years ago.
Crazy.
So,
that's what my videos are kind of funny when you watch them back in the day because I was too shy to video around anybody.
Yeah,
I remember because eventually I needed to make the videos. I would.
Oh, he meant a camera to chat live.
What?
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Platinum Painting. He wishes he had a camera to chat live.
Oh.
And I had you show that. John, how are you doing? See, I knew John lost his wife this summer.
So A6, does anyone still measure walls? I've never measured walls in my career. I know some people do. Very time consuming. My whole bidding process is kind of very unique, unusual, and it works for us because we're a small, successful company. I think if you get over 10 employees, the way I do bids and stuff, the process probably wouldn't work.
John says, do you use GoPros?
We got multiple GoPros. So the blog videos you'll see walking around, those are GoPros when we do our blog style videos, but we also use GoPros. We've hooked them on to paintbrushes. I don't know if any of you guys have seen some of our videos doing a cut in. We have a GoPro on a brush. We've done videos with GoPro on a roller.
But you didn't even, how long have you been using a GoPro for? A year?
Probably maybe a year, no more than 2 years. And we have one doing a fence. It's on the gun, spraying a fence. Really cool footage.
So Aaron said, I'm sure you covered this before, but how do you handle non-payment or short payment by customer? I think we've only had it happen a couple times, not very often. I think we've been fortunate. People not paying us.
You know what's interesting is the people that have not paid us are the millionaires and the rich people. I mean, it's true. It's true.
But it could count on one hand though how many times they haven't been paid.
And they were the rich people that had the money, and they felt like I guess they look at us as like, lower class, and we'll tell you what you're worth and what you're going to do. And this is what interesting, because when we got done with the job, they're just like, well, I don't think the job was worth what your estimate said. And our estimate is a hard number, and they're just not going to pay me the money. And it was just unbelievable. I'm not going to name names, but one of them is grandson, one of the most wealthiest people, I mean, United States and Boise area for sure. I mean, one of the wealthiest people in the world. But he wanted his walls painted the exact same color, and I repainted them in the entire house, the exact same color. And when I was done, he's like, I can't even tell you did anything. And I'm like, Well, right, because they painted them the same color. And he was just like, well, I don't think it was worth the money that you estimated for, because I can't even tell.
That was a long time ago, though, right?
It was a long time ago. And
yeah.
so I got in an argument with him on the phone, and I just finally said, you know what? You obviously need the money more than I do, so you can have it. I'm out of here. And that was it. And I just hung up on him. And it felt good saying that. One of the other guys, super wealthy guy, owned big business here in the Valley, huge. And I went to the Better Business Bureau and over the situation, walked in there. He knows everybody. I mean, it was high. And I'm like, this is not going to go well because it's all biased. So I sat down with him, and he just said, I don't think it was worth, what he, estimated it for. And so they said, why don't you just, knock down the price 40%. And so we can just, negotiate this and get it done with it. And it was the most ridiculous thing. And so I said, I can't deal with this. And I walked out and told him he obviously needed the money more than I did too. And so I left.
But the blessing is that's it. Those are so rare.
It's very
rare. I mean, we don't.
And so, like you said, probably what, 15 years. I mean,
maybe.
I think it's only not even 5 or less.
So we've been able to work for great people, and we do get a deposit before we start.
Do not compromise. Always take a 50% deposit before you start work, or don't do the work. And because it will bite you in the rear. It's got to be your policy, and you got to be, I explain it very well when somebody asks me why. And I have a very good explanation. Once they hear it, they go, I understand. And you have just as much risk as they have risk of, not paying or not getting quality work. So it has to be uncompromisable.
I'm so thankful. I see John and Ron talking, and I'm just thankful for this community. So thank you guys for being with us tonight. You get to see the real family, hear about my lunches.
Let's see. All rich people have more than us and try to break us down. I wouldn't say all rich people,
no,
but
I've met
I think
really
there's some when you start to get a lot of wealth or fame or whatever, I don't know, maybe some of the individuals, take advantage of that and stuff. But but I don't let it bother me, because the money that I didn't get paid, the amount of, I've never took anybody to court, because it's not worth my time, because the time you'll spend in court, you could be out making the money, and I'll just make up that money, fast without having to worry about the
I mean, you kind of reap what you sow. I think if you overall do the right thing, you're going to be okay. I think.
So would you all consider hosting a weekend event for your sponsor? We've talked about it.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
We've discussed it, talked about it, and it's and so it's kind of
I mean, obviously everybody's all over the place, but it's
probably going to happen.
Yeah, maybe,
because my wife likes to socialize. She likes to hang out with people.
And how about you?
I don't. My wife always wanted to entertain people and stuff, and she would actually love to have
Chuck said haha
50.
So I want to know how we see a fake Chuck and then not over there. Very interesting. Okay, question. Can I ask how you all handle cash, especially when they tell you after invoice is issued? I always input it. I use QuickBooks, and I put it in.
We have this battle, because whenever people pay cash, I want it going in my pocket, and I want the invoice to be deleted.
No.
And my wife will not do that. So I like big wads of cash in my pocket, and it's kind of fun, because I very rarely have any. Because here's how this is some. We'll only tell the sponsors. And
we're getting we've taken this family thing just like
my wife has this thing about, she feels good if she gives me some money. And then she'll give me like $100, and she'll give it, in 20s or maybe 100. And then it makes her feel good. But then as soon as I get it, the next day, like if we're at the grocery store, she'll say, I need that money that you have. And she'll say, or I need that money to give to McKenna. So it doesn't stay in my wallet very long. And so
I'm not sure you don't use it.
So she just says you don't use it. So she just takes it, but she gives it to me because it makes her feel good. And then she takes it back. And then here's another thing. If she gives it to me and forgets about it for about a week, my daughters have these little sniffers that they'll never ask me for money. But as soon as my wife puts money in my wallet, their little sniffers know that there's money in the wallet. It's like these little radar detectors that is like, oh gosh, dad's got money in his wallet. And then they come and ask me for money. It's like, Dad, I need 20 bucks to go do something. And obviously I have girls and I'm a dad and I never say no. So that's
a problem.
It's a problem. So my daughters get whatever they want from me. So it's kind of, that's interesting. So that's nothing to do with painting.
Well, but it was just, we're talking about cash for some reason. It went to that. So, I mean, I think for like Ron saying commercial work hard to get 50% of, I mean, I think that's when you go into different industries. I mean, commercial is so different than residential repaints.
Yeah, we're not on, we very rarely do that type of work, but there we have. And it's harder to get, money up front, but you can, but sometimes you can't. But here's the thing with commercial businesses versus just individuals, you're more likely to not get stiffed from a commercial business than an individual. It's because the commercial businesses they don't want to risk the reputation of not paying you than you going out and getting on social media and damaging their social media and stuff because they didn't pay you. So which a private person, you don't have a whole lot of recourse, but a business you do. So you're business on business. Not like, I want to do good work because I don't want my reputation damaged. They want to pay their bills because they don't want their reputation damaged for not paying the bills. They don't pay their bills. I'll get right on social media and say, hey, don't do any work for these guys. They don't pay. And that would not look good for them.
You collect a 13% service tax for the government. Because you're in Canada. I pay quarterly. No, I don't pay. I have to pay taxes every 2 weeks for my guys. And then I pay some things quarterly. I don't know. I put everything in QuickBooks, and Daniel said they've been audited 3 times. That, like, if somebody, that scares me. So, and I totally trust QuickBooks. So hopefully QuickBooks does everything right, because
Kenny says that we'll go fishing in Chicago, and I love fishing. So if I'm in, now that I know you fish, if I'm in Chicago, I will be calling you.
Yeah.
Because I like to fish.
We are. And I do think, I think like we met Family Man. What's his name? Ben. We met Ben, and it's like, we felt like we knew him forever. So I know. And even when we met Daniel, it's like, you're our best friend. Like, I don't know how that all works because we just see your name, but.
Yes, I went, Family Man's followed us for quite a while, and I went and met him just this last weekend in Yakima, and it was the craziest thing because, within minutes, I felt like he was my friend, and I felt like I knew him for years. It was really weird. Yeah. And so.
But I think that's what we want. Well, you don't have to be sorry, Daniel, to get back to.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us, Daniel.
I think we went like way over.
Yeah, we're like 48 minutes.
We were supposed to do it for a half hour.
Oh, it's cool. So hopefully we've answered. I hope I didn't miss anybody's questions.
DNA Painting said, I remember when I was a kid painting with my dad. Somebody didn't want to pay for exterior. He showed up with 2 gallons of black paint, knocked on the door, and said, I'm here to paint. And they paid up.
You could show up with a can of gasoline and a match and knock on the door.
Yeah, we don't recommend this. Turn the other cheek.
I did.
Right. It works. It works.
Yeah, it's
Pineapple Mom, what's your name? Because I saw that you joined. And anyways, hopefully if you guys haven't, because I know I haven't sent out everybody their sticker and their gift card. And remember, you could get these shirts for a discount, and the paint wife for your wife, because Mother's Day is coming up. So
Nate Breck, Palm Springs of Washington, LOL. And is Yakima. That's I learned that. They have palm trees there.
Yeah, and, that is so weird. I never would have thought of Palm Springs or palm trees.
It's called Yakka Vegas. Yakka Vegas. All right. Anything else that we have to discuss?
Any more questions? Family Man's here.
Look, we got, is he here?
He just showed up.
Oh, he just
a little late, but we're glad you're here.
So maybe he's been watching it. He could have been watching this whole time. He just never said anything. So that's the thing. People could be watching and just not chatting. So he's got work to do.
Yes, he does. So paint thinner does kill grass. Yes.
Oh, yes. Don't I've had guys
did anybody clean weird things on my front yard?
You got some dead spots.
I have some dead spots.
You got some guys killing grass. So paint thinner will go.
Better kill. Hi, Eva.
Here's another tip, and because
where are you from?
We know from experience.
Hawaii.
If you take like the mat, like the front door mat, they're like usually black rubber, and we take that stuff, move it away from the house, because we don't want to get paint on it and stuff. And so one time we threw it out and it was on our house. My guys threw it out on the yard, on the lawn, and it sat on the lawn while we were painting our house all day. The next day, it killed the lawn because that black thing got really hot and it killed the grass. So don't throw anything black on the grass because it'll kill it.
So they need our email, so type it in. James said, and I'm sorry, I do
the live show email
over there. I guess we need to move the camera.
I think John's on.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
John,
so you guys say a prayer for his wife had an appendectomy. No,
her appendicitis.
Appendicitis. She had her appendix removed 2 nights ago. So
is that
always
it?
reasons to pray.
The-idaho-painter.com.
Kansas City. We just heard about somebody from Kansas City. We're supposed to
Central New York, where winter never ends.
And that's why you're called Pineapple Mom.
What do you do with your waste bucket after cleaning out your sprayer? So
depends on where you live, huh?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So because I got videos cleaning, you see us just cleaning rollers out in the grass. So the last video I did, when I did that, I got really butchered on I showed it on Instagram and stuff. And what I didn't know is in a lot of states, in other countries, that's illegal to do. So
so it's good to go to other countries and find out.
So in Idaho, it's not illegal to clean your paint equipment outside, and paint thinner will kill grass, but we very rarely use anything oil-based products or anything. All the paints we're using are latex paints and latex products, and most of them are EPA friendly, low to no VOC, and they don't kill your grass. None of them do that we've used, but there is one.
Haley,
Emerald from Sherwin-Williams does kill grass because I think it has a high content.
We found that out. Yeah.
So when we cleaned our tools after spraying and cleaning with Emerald, it killed the grass. But no other latex paint I've ever used kills grass. And in the wintertime, all the cleaning we do every day, we clean it in our grass. And here's the interesting thing: where that is, our grass grows better.
Except I just saw a couple spots, so maybe.
Well, they cleaned it. There was some paint thinner or something that they for some reason dumped there.
But I guess rather do it on our yard than
or lacquer thinner, because in the wintertime we do a lot of cabinets. But so where we live, we just clean it on the grass. Same with the sprayers. We run the water out into the grass, and it's never an issue.
Hi, Ryan.
In California, you can't get away with that. It's hazardous waste. It goes into a bucket. And you can't dump it down your sink. You can't.
So what do?
You have to take it down as hazardous.
Yeah, so it's good to know where you live, what the rules are.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what the rules are in all these different states. But
in Idaho, nobody gives a rip.
Well, we're following California, so we will eventually. But we want to take care of the world that God gave us. So,
if I felt like it was bad, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I felt if there was anything harmful to the lawn, the grass, if I felt like there's any harmful, because we're on a well.
Yeah, we are.
If I felt like it was going to cause a problem there, I wouldn't do it. But I don't think there's an issue. Now, if I'm completely wrong, let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know
Pineapple
if I've been
my daughter's nickname.
Idiot.
She was the size of one when she was. How big was she?
That's cool.
Because a pineapple is pretty small. She must have been pretty small.
Yeah. So somebody said, ouch, except it said they just used that stuff last week. It's interesting because I used Emerald a couple times, tested it out. I didn't like how it performed at all. I couldn't stand the paint. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not using it. But then where we cleaned in the grass, it killed the grass.
Mike S. says his wife wants him to paint the fireplace in their house. Is it worth renting a sprayer or just brush and roll?
It depends on the fireplace, but
It's
it
brick.
makes it so much easier spraying it. If you can rent a sprayer for $50 or less, it's well worth it. And so because it's really hard to get it in all the nooks and crannies and angles and stuff by just brushing and rolling it. You can spray it at all kinds of different angles and then back roll it. It works so much easier.
Deanna says faster. It turns out better if you use a brush and roller and work the paint into the grout. So
it does. Yeah, you can't just spray it. So I use the sprayer to apply it to get it up inside things where it's really hard to get a brush to get into the nooks and crannies and stuff like that. So the sprayer is how to get it in tighter areas and stuff like that. But you always have to back roll it, and you always have to brush and back roll. So I use a brush and roller, and it'll look better. The paint will bond better, absorb better, and so it's just better. So now we've gone an hour.
We have, and you have to meet with a customer still tonight. So that's the thing is once you own your own business, like
October, a huge king salmon. I'm there.
You're tempting him.
He's tempting me.
Yep.
I mean,
I think in October we're going.
Chicago's not by the ocean.
Kenny, where are you from?
I thought he's Chicago.
I know.
That's lake. There's a lake there.
Kenny, where are the fish? Are they in what lake or what river or where they come from? Maybe they come from the Atlantic Ocean and they swim in.
So the size nap, the back roll, Nate, like we roll our walls with like a 3/8 inch nap, but in order to back roll like the grout and stuff like that, you want a heavier nap. And so like a 3/4 inch nap is probably what I would be using. That way you're just the thicker pile is going to push it into deeper nooks and crannies.
Chris said, Platinum said, do you back roll primer on new sheetrock?
On new sheet? No, we don't. So some builders and stuff require, but when I did new construction, I never did. I sprayed a heavy coat of PVA primer on, did not back roll it. If I was going to back roll something, we would back roll our top coat because it makes your touch-ups easier, way easier if you have touch-ups, which you will.
Jenny said, I'm doing a huge tongue and groove sealing and whitewash. Any tips? Did you kind of whitewash
your fireplace and stuff?
What did you do? You put something in the paint.
I put glaze in the paint.
You put glaze in the paint.
Yeah, the glaze gives you more working time and stuff, and it gives it a different look and stuff. So whitewashing with glaze added. So I took glaze, took paint, added a lot of glaze to it, and then it gives you much more working time. It doesn't absorb into the wood, as much and stuff. So and then it just adds.
And then you wiped it off with a rag.
And then wiped it off with a rag, but upside down, on a ceiling, this tongue and groove ceiling. Man, I would. It's interesting. So I would probably spray it and then wipe it off. So if I was doing a whitewash on a ceiling, because the whole thing trying to get it on, I don't know how high the ceiling is, but if I was on a ladder or scaffolding or something, I'd be spraying it and then I'd be wiping it and spraying it, wiping it to get it on, to make that getting on process easier.
But like for you, when you did it for us, you did practice samples to get the right color and the right look that you were looking for, so would you recommend that?
Because I stained the wood. I stained the wood a light gray, and then I whitewashed it after I stained it. So yeah, and I actually I made a video doing that when I was doing it. So if you want to see it, so
my fireplace. We don't burn wood in it, just so you know.
So Jenny's a one woman show right now. That's got to be rough. Man, I can imagine.
Yeah, I want to see a picture of that though, Jenny. I'd like to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Deck. So like, if you're applying it with we don't have that brush. So that one brush that company just sent us.
Yeah.
So because if you are going to do that sealing without applying it with a sprayer, a deck brush, because you're upside down versus a paintbrush, a deck brush is going to hold the product a lot better without it dripping down on you. And a big, it's like the Deck Boss or something like that is about this big, huge. It would make it so much, and it screws onto an extension pole. It'd make it so much easier to apply the product. So there you go. We got to get going.
It's 7 o'clock, but we
got to go do something.
This is a beta program, but I'm so thankful that we're doing it and that you guys joined us with it, because it really is a Paint Life community, a Paint Life family. And you guys did learn a little bit more about us. Oh my goodness, tonight. So I guess when you're a family, that's what happens.
All right, we got to get going. Time is up. Got to go back to work making some videos.
Good night, Chuck.
So,
we need to figure out how that all works and stuff like
how
that.
that works.
Do you wash your wall? Ooh, questions just left.
They just disappeared. I started to read the question and now it's gone.
Okay.
So I'll have to answer that one next time.
Thank you for being with us. Mafia.
Right. So
give us your mafia moves.
I had some mafia moves on that Instagram video I just posted.
Yeah, what'd you guys think?
With the family man.
He's got some talent.
John said he doesn't like rapping, but
I like having fun.
I do. So
Chris,
see you on our next live show.
Good night.
All of our sponsors out.